The awakening of Earth's children. In the vast darkness of space, the hidden human fleet stirred like a sleeping giant. Thousands of ships built in secret over centuries now hummed with life. Admiral Kale stood on the observation deck of the flagship, eyes fixed on the holographic star map. Each blinking light represented a world humans once called home. Now under alien rule, 3,000 years, Kale whispered, voice low and steady, filled with sorrow and fire. 3,000 years since they destroyed our Earth. He turned to his officers, their faces glowing under the dim lights of the control panels. Today, he said, voice firm, we rise, and the fleet responded with a low, resonant hum. The descendants of Earth had survived. Hidden in remote colonies, every generation trained for one purpose, revenge. Children were taught stories of fire and ruin, of cities crushed and oceans poisoned. Every mind was sharpened like a blade. Every body honed for endurance and battle. Kale's personal fighter hovered beside the command ship, engines quiet but powerful through its sensors. He scanned the sectors near Sol's ruins. Signals flickered across the monitors, faint patterns familiar to human coding. The aliens had believed humanity was extinct, but they had underestimated patience on the bridge. Lieutenant Mara adjusted the targeting arrays, her fingers moving quickly. Admiral, she said, voice trembling slightly. We are detecting movement near Earth's remains. Kale's jaw tightened, hand hovering over the fleet's activation controls. Prepare reconnaissance, he ordered, but keep stealth. Let them feel safe until we strike. The stars streaked past the observation window as the fleet moved silently. Shadows of human ships stretched across the void, a ghostly warning to the galaxy. Kale remembered stories of Earth's glory, towers that touched the sky, oceans full of life. Those memories burned inside him, fueling a fire no alien could extinguish. Reconnaissance drones approached the ruined solar system. Scanning for life, suddenly a faint energy reading appeared. Ancient but alive, Kale's eyes narrowed, a shiver running down his spine. Could it be? He murmured, and even the hardened officers held their breath. The past was calling and humanity was ready to answer. In distant alien observation posts, sentries stirred uneasily. They had believed humans were gone forever, their arrogance blinding them. Few knew patience could become a weapon, and even fewer knew how deadly humans could be soon. The galaxy would learn that a species that refuses to die cannot be defeated. On the flagship's bridge, Kyle walked among his officers, a calm but terrifying presence. Remember, he said, voice quiet but sharp, every move we make must be precise, every strike must count, and every human aboard this fleet must believe in our cause. The officers nodded, hearts pounding, knowing they carried the hope of an extinct world. Outside, the fleet spread across the void, massive ships like shadows across the stars. Silent, waiting, patient. Each ship carried weapons of ancient human design, hidden and forgotten technology no alien had expected. Humanity's secret advantage. Kale moved to the command console, staring at the energy signature flickering near Sol. It pulsed faintly like a heartbeat long buried. Prepare a closer scan, he ordered. We must know what has survived. We must know what is waiting for us. The crew worked quickly, tension thick in the air, every hand steady but aware of history's weight. Above the ruined Earth, faint clouds of dust and debris drifted. Once a vibrant world, now a hollow shell. Yet the humans did not see ruin. They saw a stage, a place for vengeance. The fleet would reclaim what was lost, restore honor, and show the galaxy the price of underestimating humanity. Kale turned to the window, staring at the distant sun. A memory of Earth rose in his mind. Children playing in green fields, oceans shimmering in sunlight. That world was gone, but its spirit lived in them, and soon the galaxy would know. The children of Earth had returned. The fleet held its formation, waiting for the signal. Every human aboard knew the coming moments would change everything. The past had been cruel, but the future belonged to those who dared. And humanity, long thought extinct, was awake at last. Whispers from the past. The human fleet drifted silently near the outer rim of the Sol system. Kyle's eyes scanned the holographic displays, tracing signals that pulsed faintly like echoes of a long-lost song. Ancient records, preserved in hidden colonies, revealed fragments of the war that had destroyed Earth 3,000 years ago. Aliens of the Arconian Empire had struck without mercy, burning cities, poisoning oceans, erasing every trace of human civilization. Lieutenant Mara adjusted the sensors, frowning at the readings. "Admiral, some of these signals match old Earth transmission codes," she said. Voice low, Kale's gaze sharpened, a chill running down his spine. "Show me," he said, and the map flickered, displaying ghostly traces of old human communications. They were faint, scattered, but unmistakable, the whispers of the past reaching across centuries. The fleet moved closer to Earth's remains, debris drifting through space like frozen memories. Kyle remembered the stories passed down through generations, of towers that scraped the clouds, oceans that shimmered under the sun, and laughter that once filled the world. Those stories were more than history, they were a promise. A reason to fight. Every human aboard carried the memory. A fire waiting to be unleashed. Suddenly, an alert sounded on the bridge. "Unidentified ships approaching." "Fast and silent," Mara said. Kale narrowed his eyes, heart steady but mind alert. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers, but do not fire," he commanded. "We want to see who believes they can meet humanity unchallenged." The approaching ships were sleek, black and cold alien silhouettes gliding across the void. Their sensors scanned the human fleet with arrogance, assuming extinction had left Earth's children weak. Kale allowed a small smile to cross his face. "Let them think they are safe," he whispered. "Soon they will learn patience is a weapon." Meanwhile, aboard one of the recon drones, hidden cameras captured strange activity on the planet below. Structures that had survived the cataclysm emitted faint energy pulses. Kale leaned closer to the monitor, curiosity and suspicion twisting inside him. "Something survived," he muttered, "or someone has returned to guard it." The whispers of the past were no longer just memories. They were alive, waiting, testing humanity. As the alien ships closed in, Kale's fleet shifted formation, moving like shadows, blending into the dark of space. Every human aboard knew the stakes, the weight of their ancestors' memories pressing down on them. "This is not just a battle for revenge," Kale said, voice echoing in the command hall. "This is a battle to reclaim our story, to prove that humanity cannot be erased." The alien vessels paused, sensing the silent threat, yet unaware of the power hidden within humanity's fleet. Kale's thoughts turned to the human engineers, scientists, and strategists who had labored for centuries. They had built ships capable of withstanding attacks that would obliterate other civilizations. They had prepared for this moment, knowing that one day, the children of Earth would rise. A soft ping resonated across the bridge, signaling a new reading from the planet. Kale leaned over the console, studying the data carefully. It was an energy signature stronger than expected, pulsing in patterns that mirrored human code. "Prepare a landing probe," Kale commanded. "We need to know what or who is down there." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, cold and silent witnesses to the unfolding plan. Humanity's fleet moved with precision, trained for thousands of years for this single purpose. Even as alien reinforcements began to appear on distant scanners, Kale remained calm. He knew the first step of vengeance was knowledge, and knowledge was power. As the landing probe descended toward the planet, it captured images of ruins overgrown with strange alien flora. Yet in the midst of devastation, faint traces of humanity persisted, shapes, symbols, and hidden structures. Kale's hand clenched the railing as he watched, a surge of determination rising within him. "This is our world," he said quietly. "Lost, yes, but not gone. And now it will rise again." The alien fleet hovered at the edge of sensor range, confident in their superiority, unaware that patience had sharpened the humans into something far deadlier. Kale turned to Mara, eyes gleaming. "Signal the fleet," he said. "Let them know that 3,000 years of silence has ended. Humanity is awake. And we remember." And as the probe transmitted its findings back to the fleet, a new fire lit in every human heart. The whispers from the past were no longer ghosts. They were guides, warning and urging humanity forward. The first steps of vengeance had begun, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. First blood in the stars. The human fleet glided silently through the dark void near the ruins of the Sol system. Admiral Kyle stood on the bridge of the flagship, eyes scanning for any sign of alien patrols. For 3,000 years, humanity had trained for this moment. And now the first clash was near. Every officer, every soldier, every pilot understood that this was not a skirmish. It was a statement. Lieutenant Mara's fingers danced across the control panels, tracking a small fleet of alien scouts. "They're fast, Admiral," she warned. Voice tight with tension, Kale nodded, calm but resolute. Speed means nothing when strategy guides the fleet, he said, voice low. Prepare our interceptors, but hold fire until my command. The alien scouts moved arrogantly, unaware that their prey had waited millennia to strike. Kale's fleet spread in a silent formation, shadows stretching across the starfield. Human engineers had designed ships that could outmaneuver even the most advanced alien craft. Every weapon, every shield, every maneuver was honed for this moment. Suddenly, one alien vessel turned sharply. Scanning aggressively, Kale's heart beat faster, the thrill of the first confrontation coursing through him. Fire the decoy drones, he commanded. Let them think they control the battle. Tiny holographic ships launched from human cruisers, mimicking the movement of the main fleet. The aliens fell for the trick, their sensors confused, their confidence unshaken but false. From the shadows, human interceptors surged forward, silent and deadly. Laser arrays lit the darkness as the first shot struck, hitting alien ships with precise accuracy. The aliens scrambled, their weapons firing wildly, but the humans moved as one, fluid and unstoppable. Kyle watched, satisfaction burning in his chest. The galaxy has forgotten how dangerous humans are, he murmured. Let's remind them. One alien commander, a tall figure in a blackened exosuit, barked orders frantically. Target their command ship. Destroy their leadership. But the humans had anticipated this, splitting the fleet, creating multiple targets. The alien missiles streaked through space only to be deflected by precise shields. Human fighters darted like shadows, weaving through the chaos, striking where the enemy least expected. Kyle's thoughts flashed to the stories of Earth, of cities that had fallen, of oceans poisoned, of skies filled with fire. The memory fueled him. A silent rage guiding every decision. Push them back, he shouted, voice echoing through the bridge. And let them know. Humans do not surrender. The first alien ship exploded in a brilliant flash, debris scattering across the void. Another followed, then a third, human tactics turning the tide quickly. Mara's eyes shone with triumph and fear, knowing this was only the beginning. Kale's fleet moved like a shadow across the stars, striking, retreating, always calculating amid the chaos. Kale's sensors picked up a large alien vessel, far stronger than the scouts. Its energy shields shimmered, powerful and alien. Target their flagship, he ordered, determination sharp. Let them see the face of vengeance. The human ships launched coordinated attacks, missiles striking with deadly precision. Alien cannons fired back, massive explosions shaking the fleet. Yet humanity's tactics were superior, patience, cunning, and knowledge guiding every move. The alien commander cursed, unable to understand how a species thought extinct could fight with such skill. As the battle raged, Kale stared into the void. The first blood spilled and a new era beginning. Every human aboard felt the thrill of revenge and the weight of 3,000 years. The galaxy would remember this day, the day humanity returned, silent but deadly. And even as alien reinforcements began to appear on distant sensors, Kale knew the war was no longer just about survival. It was about proving that humans, once thought defeated, were now the hunters, not the hunted. From the command bridge, Kale whispered, almost to himself, the first blood is ours, but the war has only begun. Outside, stars reflected off shattered alien hulls, a reminder that humanity's patience had become a weapon. The humans of Earth, risen from ashes, had struck, and the galaxy would never forget the sound of their vengeance. Secrets of the Death World. The human fleet emerged from the black void, approaching the outskirts of a planet the galaxy called Kailara, a death world, abandoned to its deadly storms and toxic skies, yet teeming with resources humans could use. Admiral Kyle stood on the bridge of the flagship, eyes fixed on the shifting storm clouds below. This world is dangerous, he said softly, but it hides the tools we need to strike the galaxy. Lieutenant Mara adjusted the scanners, detecting energy readings buried beneath the planet's surface. Ancient alien installations, abandoned but still operational, pulsed faintly. Kale studied the holographic maps, calculating risks. We land in 2 squads, he said, voice calm but commanding. 1 to gather intelligence, 1 to secure the energy nodes. Every human must be precise, quiet, and deadly. Landing shuttles cut through the turbulent skies, engines screaming against violent winds. Below, the planet's surface was jagged, covered with sharp black rocks and poisonous mists. The first squad touched down near a ruined alien facility, sensors flickering as they scanned the area. Kale watched from orbit, a thin bead of sweat on his forehead. tension thick in the command bridge inside the ruins. The team discovered alien data cores, some cracked, others surprisingly intact. Their technology is advanced, whispered Engineer Rin, eyes wide with wonder. But there are patterns humans can use. Weaknesses they never anticipated, Kale nodded, excitement mingling with caution. 3,000 years of patience had prepared them for this moment. And every discovery mattered. Meanwhile, the second squad moved deeper into the planet's jungles. Strange flora and fauna resisting intrusion. Poisonous spores floated in the air. Deadly creatures moved silently between jagged rocks. Yet the humans moved like shadows, trained for decades in survival and combat. Every step measured, every breath controlled. For even a single mistake could mean death. Suddenly, alarms blared from the alien installations. Energy shields flickering back to life. The death world was not as abandoned as it seemed. Kale's communicator buzzed urgently. Admiral, sensors detect movement, something alive. Something guarding the ruins, Mara said, voice tight. Kale's eyes narrowed. Prepare defensive protocols, but no engagement unless necessary. Let them believe we are explorers, not hunters. The humans watched carefully as strange figures emerged from the shadows. Tall, armored beings, eyes glowing. They were remnants of the alien empire, genetically enhanced soldiers. Tasked with guarding secrets long forgotten, Kale studied them, analyzing weaknesses, every human aboard knowing the stakes. This was not only about gathering tools, it was about proving humanity could survive anywhere. Even the deadliest worlds, Engineer Rin discovered hidden caches of weapons and alien schematics. Kale's mind raced as he realized the possibilities. Humanity could use these tools to turn the galaxy's most dangerous technology against its masters. The galaxy underestimated us, he muttered. Voice steady but fierce, and it is about to pay. Outside, the Deathworld storms raged violently, winds tearing across jagged mountains. Yet the humans moved like phantoms through the chaos, retrieving data cores, weapons, and ancient maps. Kyle felt the thrill of discovery and the weight of responsibility. Every piece of information brought them closer to avenging Earth and reclaiming their honor. As night fell on the Deathworld, the humans gathered in a hidden cavern, analyzing their finds. Ancient alien languages, deadly weapon schematics, and secret fleet coordinates filled their screens. Kale's eyes glowed with determination. This is more than just survival, he said, voice echoing in the cavern. This is the moment we gain an advantage the galaxy never imagined. We are humanity, and even the deadliest worlds cannot stop us. From orbit, Kale watched the storms, the glowing alien facilities, and the humans below. A new chapter in humanity's revenge had begun. The death world had secrets. Yes, but humans had courage, ingenuity, and patience. And as the first lights of dawn touched the jagged horizon, Kale whispered to himself, 3,000 years of waiting, and now the galaxy will remember the name of Earth's children. The siege of the Galactic Citadel. The human fleet emerged from the outer rim, fast and silent, a shadow across the stars. Admiral Kale stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the glowing heart of the alien empire, the Galactic Citadel. Massive spires and energy domes stretched into space, a fortress that had ruled countless systems. 3,000 years of silence had ended, and now humanity was ready to strike. Admiral, Lieutenant Mara said, voice tense. The Citadel's defenses are active, energy shields at full strength. Kyle nodded. Calm but determined. Prepare the fleet. But remember, he said, voice low, this is not a fight of strength, it is a fight of strategy, patience, and surprise. The fleet split into coordinated waves, human cruisers weaving through asteroid fields. Hiding from the Citadel's sensors, missiles streaked silently, drones flaring to confuse enemy targeting systems. Every human aboard moved with precision, trained for decades in the art of war. The first salvo hit the outer shields, testing weaknesses, calculating reactions. From within the Citadel, Supreme Warlord Verax observed the approaching fleet, arrogance written across his face. They think they can challenge the galaxy's greatest fortress? He hissed, voice sharp and cruel. Destroy them, he commanded, and a barrage of alien energy cannons lit the void. Explosions rippled across the asteroid field, but the human fleet adapted instantly. Evading with careful precision, Kyle studied the holographic display, mapping the enemy's firing patterns. Split into 3 sectors, he ordered. Strike the weak points near the main energy pylons. Target their generators first, disable their shields. Then we take the Citadel. The crew moved swiftly. every command executed flawlessly. Each human a shadow in the storm. The first wave of humans struck with speed and force, laser arrays cutting through shielded drones. Alien fighters scrambled, surprised by the humans' tactics. Kale's fleet moved like a living organism, striking, retreating, and striking again. The citadel shook, cracks appearing in the outer defenses, a warning of what was to come inside the fortress. Alarms blared as Vayrax's elite guards scrambled to intercept. Kale anticipated their moves, ordering the human strike teams to circle around, attacking from blind spots. Explosions lit the void, debris spinning into space. The galaxy witnessing the return of a species thought extinct. Mara's voice cut through the tension. "Admiral, we have a path to the central core." Kale's jaw tightened, excitement and determination mixing. "Prepare the boarding teams," he said. "This is our chance to strike at the heart." The human boarding ships plunged into the citadel's defenses, shields flashing against alien fire. Soldiers moved like shadows through corridors, silent and deadly, disabling security systems and seizing control nodes. Kale watched the main viewports as energy surges rippled across the fortress. The citadel's defenders were strong, but they had never faced humans with centuries of patience, ingenuity and vengeance guiding every move. In the central command chamber, Vayrax roared in fury as alarms blared. "Humans cannot breach my fortress," he shouted, his voice shaking the walls. But Kale's boarding teams had already infiltrated, targeting the energy core. The hum of alien machinery faltered, shields flickering, the fortress trembling under human precision. Kale's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. 3,000 years of waiting, and now the galaxy will see, he whispered. The first true victory against the alien empire was at hand. Explosions rocked the citadel, corridors collapsed, and the once invincible fortress trembled under human might. Outside, the human fleet continued to hold off enemy reinforcements, precision strikes disabling ships without losing a single vessel. Kale's mind was already on the next step, the final push toward reclaiming Earth and showing the galaxy that humans were not a species to be underestimated. The siege of the Galactic Citadel had begun, and the first crack in the alien empire had been made. The galaxy was about to remember the fury, patience, and cunning of humanity, reclaiming Earth. The human fleet descended into the shattered remains of the Sol system. Admiral Kale stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the pale, broken world below. Once a vibrant planet full of life, Earth was now a tomb of twisted metal and scorched continents. 3,000 years of silence had passed, and finally, humanity had returned. Lieutenant Mara's voice trembled slightly as she monitored the surface. "Admiral, life signatures are faint but present," she said. Kale's jaw tightened, a surge of emotion rising within him. "Prepare the landing squads," he ordered. "We reclaim what is ours, and we honor what was lost." Landing shuttles cut through the atmosphere, flames licking their hulls below. The ruins of cities stretched like scars across the landscape. Twisted skyscrapers leaned against one another. Oceans were poisoned, forests burned, yet, among the devastation, faint signs of life flickered, hidden and stubborn. Humanity would not leave until every trace of their home was theirs again. On the surface, the landing squads moved carefully, scanning for survivors and threats. Alien remnants still lingered, scavengers and guards left to claim what they could. Kale led his team forward, every step a test of courage and resolve. "This world was taken from us," he said quietly, voice full of fire, "but it will not be stolen again." In the heart of a ruined city, human scouts discovered hidden underground shelters. Inside, survivors had lived for generations, keeping human culture alive in secret. Tears filled the eyes of the soldiers as families emerged. Weak but alive, Kale walked among them, feeling a weight he had carried for centuries. "This is why we return," he whispered. "To protect our own, to reclaim our world." Meanwhile, distant alien forces scrambled to respond. Sensing humanity's presence, Kale studied the horizon, ships appearing like shadows on the edge of the atmosphere. "Hold positions," he ordered, voice steady, "and prepare to strike with everything we have." The humans had patience and cunning, but they also had love for their home, a force even stronger than weapons. Inside the ruins of an old government building, Kale discovered remnants of Earth's archives. Maps, recordings, and artifacts survived, whispering the story of the world before destruction. He touched a faded photograph of children playing in green fields, oceans shimmering in sunlight. A pang of sorrow mixed with determination surged through him. We were gone too long, he murmured, but we are here now. And we will rebuild, alien patrols approached. Energy weapons firing across ruined streets. Kale's squads moved with deadly precision, disabling threats, taking control of strategic positions. The humans worked as one, blending strategy, skill, and raw determination. Every victory, no matter how small, was a promise to the past and a warning to the galaxy. As night fell, the human flags rose across key locations. The remnants of Earth cities flickered with renewed life as survivors and soldiers alike began to reclaim their world. Kale looked up at the ruined sky, stars twinkling faintly. 3,000 years of loss had led to this moment. Humanity was home, but the galaxy still waited. And vengeance was not complete. From orbit, the fleet watched, ready to intercept any alien reinforcements. Kyle's eyes narrowed, determination sharp. "This is only the beginning," he said, voice echoing across the bridge. "The galaxy will learn that Earth's children never forget, never forgive, and never surrender." And on the broken surface below, humanity stood together, survivors and soldiers, the past and future colliding in a single moment of triumph and hope. The reclaiming of Earth was more than victory. It was a statement. The galaxy would tremble at the return of a species thought extinct. And the final chapter of vengeance was almost within reach. Legacy of humanity. The stars shone cold and distant as the human fleet hovered above the reclaimed Earth. Admiral Kale stood on the bridge of the flagship, eyes scanning the approaching alien vessels. Supreme Warlord Verax had gathered his remaining forces. Furious at humanity's return, for the first time in 3,000 years, the galaxy would witness a final reckoning. Lieutenant Mara's fingers danced over the controls, launching drones and coordinating strikes. "Admiral," she said, tension sharp in her voice. "Verax's flagship is approaching, shields fully active. Weapons charged." Kale's jaw tightened, determination blazing in his eyes. "Prepare the fleet," he ordered. "Today we finish what was started. Today we show the galaxy the cost of underestimating humanity." The alien flagship emerged from hyperspace, enormous and foreboding, a dark shadow against the stars. Energy cannons flared, sending beams of destruction into the void. Human ships weaved and countered, missiles streaking like lightning, drones flaring to confuse the enemy. The battle was precise, chaotic, and deadly. Every human aboard focused on one mission: victory. Kale led the boarding teams personally, descending into the alien flagship in reinforced fighters. Inside, corridors twisted and pulsed with alien energy. Automated defenses activating in waves, human soldiers moved like shadows, silent and unstoppable, disabling systems and clearing paths. Every obstacle was met with cunning and skill. The experience of 3,000 years of waiting fueling their every move in the central chamber. Verax waited, arrogance and fury etched across his features. "You dare challenge me again?" he hissed, voice shaking with rage. Kale stepped forward, calm and resolute. "We are not the same humans you destroyed," he said quietly. "We are the children of Earth, and we have returned." The final clash was sudden and brutal, energy weapons igniting the chamber, sparks flying across walls. Kale and his team struck with speed, precision and cunning, exploiting every weakness in Verax's armor and systems. The alien commander roared, but humanity's patience and strategy proved stronger. With a final coordinated strike, Verax's flagship shuddered, systems failing. The warlord defeated outside, the remaining alien forces saw their leader fall. Chaos spreading through their fleet. Human ships pressed the advantage, disabling ships and forcing surrender. Kale watched from the flagship, a sense of triumph and relief washing over him. 3,000 years of waiting, suffering, and planning had led to this moment. As the dust of battle settled, humans on Earth and in orbit looked at the stars with awe and determination. Survivors and soldiers alike knew the galaxy would never forget this day. Kyle raised his gaze to the distant sun, memories of old Earth flooding his mind. "This is our legacy," he whispered, voice firm, a legacy of courage, patience, and unyielding spirit. The fleet began reconstruction and defense, preparing for the challenges ahead. Humanity had reclaimed its home, shown the galaxy its strength, and earned respect through sacrifice and strategy. But Kale knew the galaxy was vast, full of unknown threats, and though vengeance was complete, vigilance must continue. For the children of Earth were awake, and the story had only begun below on the surface. Humans rebuilt cities, nurtured survivors, and reclaimed culture lost to fire and ruin. Laughter returned, cautious but bright, mingling with the memory of loss. Cale walked among them, silent and watchful. Pride swelling in his chest, the earth of old might be gone, but the spirit of humanity burned brighter than any star. As night fell, the human fleet held its formation above the planet, lights flickering against the darkness. Cale stared at the stars, imagining future generations, children of Earth who would never know defeat. The galaxy had learned a lesson that could never be forgotten. Humans are patient, resilient, and unstoppable. 3,000 years of silence had ended, and now humanity's legacy stretched across the stars. Forever remembered, forever feared, and forever free.